Hi friends, today we are going to learn how to fetch the master data in SAP IBP. So in SAP IBP interface in Excel, we have a master data pane. Here you can see that when you click on master data option, you get a create option. The edit option by default is disabled, but once we create a master data, we will be able to enable the edit option. So let's see. So when we click on create, we can fetch different master data for which we have data loaded into the system. For example, today I'm going to fetch the product master data. What you can do is you can fetch specific attributes within the product master data, or you may want to select all of them. Also, you can filter the master data for a few products, or you can filter by some attributes. So suppose you want to only fetch the columns, certain columns of a master data, then you can specify those columns and then you can fetch only by value. So suppose I want to fetch the master data for all the attributes only for those where XYZ regional code is only X. So it will fetch all the master data which has XYZ code as X. Let's fetch everything. So we'll not put any filter and then we'll click on OK. So we see that the product master data is loaded. We see that when the master data was created, who created it, and then what are the different master data associated with the different product in the product master data. So now we can load the customer master data. So we'll again go to master data workbook and click on create. Here we will go and select the customer master data and click on OK. You can see that the product master data and the customer master data opened in separate Excel sheets. However, it may be easier for us to look at the master data if we have the master data loaded in different sheets of the same Excel. The thing is that every time you click on create, it will actually generate a new Excel worksheet. So what do we do to have all the master data in a single worksheet? Let's see. So what we do is in the master data workbook now, you see that once we create at least one Excel, it is giving us an option to edit the master data that we have loaded in the first place. So we now click on edit and then we want to create a separate tab here. So we click on add and now we get to select another master data. So now when we click on OK, we see that just in the same way that the wizard had a different tab, we got the same different tab created within the same Excel sheet. So the customer master got created here. Similarly, we will again go to edit and create another worksheet. And then we load the location master data. We click on OK. Go to the location tab. Again, go to edit. So these are the three master data that we see over here are actually the simple master data. Now let's load some compound master data as in customer product. So we'll not actually select here because location was selected in the same tab. We will choose a different tab and then upload the customer product master data. Right. So now what we see is every time we are creating a new tab, we are going to master data workbook and edit. But we don't need to do that. We can select multiple tabs at one go. So here we click on another tab and then we select say location product, right? And then again we select another tab and select customer source, which is a compound master data for location product and customer. Now then we have another important master data which is target UM, and finally we will load the UM conversion factor. So these are basically the main master data worksheets. You can see that there are multiple other master data as well, but you may or may not be able to load it based on whether they have data in them or not. So we'll not have this. Yes. And then we click on OK. So see, all the master data you created, all of them got created in this single Excel sheet in different tabs. Then what we do is we don't again want to do this entire exercise when next time we want to load and see the master data. So what we can do is we go to favorites and we click on add and say that master data and then whatever name you want to give it, right? All or today's date. And then click on add. Right? Now what will happen is even if you close this and again you open the go to favorites and then select the master data that you created today, it will open the master data for you all that with all the other master data in the different tabs. Right? And what we see is that if you have watched the video of the master data, how to create a master data, how to create attributes and assign them to a planning area, then you would have seen that there are certain attributes within a master data. So how do we see the IDs of those attributes? So what happens in the Excel sheet, you can actually unhide. And here you can see that there are the actual attribute IDs are visible in this way. So this is a way you can see the IDs of the attributes and their description are already visible by default. And then some of the attributes you see a star mark against them, which means these are mandatory field. All the other fields are not mandatory for creation of this master data. In customer, you can see the customer ID is a mandatory field, which is a key field. In location master, the location ID is the key field. In customer product, the customer ID and the product ID is a composite primary key. In the location product, the location ID and the product ID is a composite primary key. In the customer source, the customer ID, location, and the product ID are a composite primary key. In the target UM, so you have the different master data for the unit of measure available are defined. So each a box, a kg, and pound, a ounce, a piece. And suppose you have in your master data there is a pack also. So you can define how the pack is identified in your organization, and you can give a description, and you can update your master data. And then in the conversion factor, every product. So for example, if I select one particular product, has their conversion defined. So how many eaches goes into a piece, how many piece goes into one BU or a ton is how it is defined in your master data in the conversion factor. So that's all in about our master data. There are a few options as we have covered in the favorites, and then you can save the master data any changes, and then you can also refresh your master data. So that's how you manage your master data from the Excel interface.